to have your team play complementary football. Have you come close to that, do you feel like, this year?
No, not this year, and that was the challenge to the team, was that our best players got to play their best 4 quarters, and this is the game where we all got to come together. Talked about the analogy of the triple braided cord. Kind of outlined it for them that one can be overpowered, two can defend themselves, but a triple braided cord is not easily broken. And tonight, what you saw is I felt like, offense was starting to find a little bit of a rhythm. Brennan, looked like Brennan, but we just didn't play complementary football. We had the situation, and I got to do a better job. Credit to Duke, but we got to coach better. I got to do a better job preparing them, and the kids got to play better. But that opening, situation or drive, we flipped the field. We punt the ball inside to the 13-yard line. Been challenging the defense all week. This is an area we got to get better, is situational football, in particular backed up. We've had several backed up drives that we let them out. It's raining, right? You're playing field position. We let them out, and then we have 3 penalties, 3 huge, penalties on that drive to give away points, and so we gave it to Duke, and of course they're going to capitalize on that momentum. And then, we got a big return, and that's potentially, one to the house, and that's what we've told the kickoff return team, man. We're 1 block away, we're 1 person away, and, man, we fumble the ball, on our own. Now, in credit to Demick, he's trying to make a play for us. But, man, then we turn the ball over right there. So we're not playing smart football. We're not playing complementary football. And we're struggling when the bullets start flying to just, come together as a team, hunker down, battle for each other. And just really disappointed in the penalties. And again, those are big penalties. Those are big ones, and they're not necessary. And if you saw me on the sideline, I was irate, because we're struggling as a football team to try and win after the snap, win the trash talking contest, win the face-to-face and the pushing. We need to focus on, during the play, doing your job with great fundamentals, great effort, great technique, and then get your eyes to the sideline so we can process the next call coming in so that we can play fast, and just really, really disappointed in those penalties that we had. They cost us, in some situations, and then that creates momentum for the other team, and then now you're reeling, and it's hard to play complementary football where, defense finds a way to get, a stop, right? Don't give up a touchdown. Offense goes and scores the next drive. Now you're potentially up 7-0, and then there goes the momentum. And that's where we got to get better as a football team, and just, understanding situational football and just, get away from playing, and I love KT, and I told KT at the end of the game, like, we're in a 2-minute drill, but the clock don't stop until, you get out of bounds inside of 2 minutes, and we're dancing to get extra yards, and now we got a 2nd and 1. We give up clock. So just a lot of things that I got to, help these guys to grow their knowledge about.
How do you address the penalty? What's the Tony Elliott?
Yeah, I mean, it's and like I told the coaches that, hey, if I continue to see it, I'm just not going to play guys. And it seems like there's the same culprits that are coming out, and if they don't get it corrected, and they're not going to have much longer, then I'm going to start making decisions, and I'm not going to play guys. And what I don't want to happen, and man, there's a bunch of good young men in our locker room. Now there's a lot that they have to learn about, how to be a team, how to win as a team, how to play disciplined football, and I want them to do it, but if we continue to have these problems, then ultimately I'm going to have to make decisions, because the one thing I'm not going to sacrifice is the core values of this program. And it's embarrassing because you know what? As soon as I got here, I cut out the fighting in practice. Most programs allow you to fight. I don't let the guys fight in practice because I don't need to waste time. You can't do it in the game. We need to focus on fighting, during the 6-7 seconds of the play. And again, you got some bad habits that you got, and football is a game of emotion. I get that, but it's controlled aggression. You got to be under control. You got to stay locked in, and just don't be selfish enough to say, you know what, it's about me in this moment, that I'm gonna push a guy after the snap, or I want to talk a little bit more trash to where you get, some type of penalty that costs your team.
Given the slow start last week at Syracuse, was there any temptation to go for it on that 4th and 3? I think inside the 40 on that first possession? It kind of jolted.
there wasn't just the conditions, the situation. I felt like offense was playing better than we were at Syracuse. Now we got to do a better job with the batted balls, and we'll correct that. And again, guys just playing all the way through the whistle. Not relaxing. Once guys understanding that once guys can't get a pass rush, all they're going to do is try and jump into throwing windows. But no, was playing just playing straight up, trying not to be overly aggressive, and put us in a deeper hole.
Is there any remedy for slow starts?
I don't know if you got one. Please let me know, because I swear it's almost like these guys got to get behind before they get started. And I challenged the guys when we came in at half, because there were a couple things that I saw at the beginning of the game that just kind of let me know, like, all right. I see a little bit of, we've had a little bit of success even though we didn't win. Guys played decent. We made a comeback that we weren't going to start the way that we wanted to start, and then knowing that Nick Jackson was going to be out. But those aren't excuses. Those are things that, we got to own, be honest about, and try to correct.
How much is not?
Go ahead.
How much not having Nick Jackson in that first half impacted
You know, I don't think it was as significant as you could say after you lose a game. I think that just the penalties, because if we don't have those penalties, right, then we can create some momentum. And he was doing a great job of trying to, coach the guys up on the sideline. But, to me in the first half, it was more just, the penalties, and then, offense not finishing drives and helping to flip the momentum. And then we had the special teams turnover and the block punt. I mean, that's 2 times. And one of our, the frustrating thing is one of our keys to victory or in our plan to win is to be special on special teams. And right now we're hit or miss. Some games we'll do our job on special teams, and some games we won't. It goes back to that first question of guys just truly understanding to play complementary football. Every play matters. There's no giveaway plays, especially when you're competing at the level we're competing, when the margin for error is really, really small.
How much do you think maybe when a team has beaten another team so often, like the 7th straight that UVA has ever beat, maybe did you sense any underrating Duke?
I didn't bring it up until in the locker room after the game. We didn't mention it one time. And my approach is it doesn't matter who you're playing. And that's what I got to get these young men to fully buy into and the same thing with the conditions. If you're going to play to conditions, you're going to play to a location, you're going to play to a time of day, you're going to play to the uniform that you wear. When you start using all those things to justify your motivation, then your motivation is going to be inconsistent. And I just sense that, the guys, man, I thought they had a great week. Man, you think about all that they had to go through over the last 24 hours with the change in plans to travel, with the power going out. Man, they handled that like with a ton of maturity. And I told them before the game I was really, really proud of how they handled that. And I just was anticipating that they were going to come out. We had a nice, quiet calmness and confidence about us at our pregame meal. Those are the things that I look for. And that's what I'm trying to get these guys to understand, man. It's little things that I'm looking for to give me confirmation that the culture is taking root. I snatched Antonio out of the game because it's a third and goal down on the 3-yard line or the 2-yard line, right? They're going with tempo. I got him and I got 26 jogging over there to get lined up. They're not even ready when the ball snapped. Man, it's just those little things, right? And until we correct those, then that means we haven't decided, right? And that's a big thing that I talk about with this team is, before you can expect, right, to be victorious and to win, you got to decide. And those are the decisions that we aren't making consistently enough, right? We'll make them one play, and then we won't make them the next play, which lead to, right, those plays in the game that tip the game one way or another.
Well, I didn't know the story. When did the power go out?
Oh, it was last night about 8:00. But you know what? We made the most of it, and we had a great time. We were going to watch a movie together, but everybody rallied together, and that's what's so frustrating is because it's in them. man, you know it's in them. I just gotta break some bad habits. Okay, I gotta get these guys to fully believe, and everybody says they believe, man, but it takes a lot to believe. There's a certain level of commitment, certain level of sacrifice, certain level of trust, discipline, accountability, all those things before you can even expect to win. I think the guys know how to expect to win, but we got to decide, every single day, every single play that we want to win.
Dennis said this was Brennan's best week of practice.
Yeah.
And that the offense is coming along, just not fast enough.
Correct. And I think if you look at Brennan, man, Brennan was a lot more comfortable in the pocket. He was staying in the pocket. He was stepping up in the pocket. Man, he delivered some strikes. We had a couple of drops that we should have made. Anxious to see what the biggest issue was with the batted balls, but I think it was the offensive line gave him a ton of time. Guys quit rushing, and you're trying to find. He looked a little bit. There were times where he kind of looked like the old Brennan, just had a bunch of time to find guys open. So man, I'm proud of him, and that's why I told him at the end of the game. I said, man, I apologize to you, man. I got to do a better job of helping you by getting all these guys to buy in, because I thought he looked, as comfortable as he's looked thus far in the system.
Who are the players that are fully bought in and trying to help you just drag the rest of the roster?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in house, right? But there's and again, they're all good young men in that locker room, and but we got to take it to another level, right? So I think again, them fully understanding where I'm coming from, right, and trusting me in what I say. And I'm not gonna say there's mistrust, but they haven't quite seen the results, and they've been trying, but there's still consistency within that trying that we gotta get to in order for the results to come. And then when we have results, right, stay humble, right? Stay humble, man. Like I was on Chico's butt today, right? Chico's butt today. He was player of the game last week, and then this week, there were some things that I saw, especially in this game. It's like, dude, that was last week. Do it all over again. Like the challenge of, okay, I want to be the player of the game every week. Like, that's how I want to play. Like, and this football team saying, you know what, regardless of what people think or what people say, we determine, right? We determine who we are. And right now we're letting other people and other influences, right? We're that outside in mentality, and we just got to stay inside out, go back to work, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this bus ride home. We're gonna own it, man. We just lost, right? That's on us. We can't blame anybody else. You tip your hat to do, but we got to own what we just put on film. And then hopefully, the guys will take accountability. We'll come back to work on Monday, and the guys will be honest, be transparent, be willing to work and correct, take that accountability, and go start trying to be 1-0 next week. That's the beauty of it, right? It's every week. It becomes monotonous, but when you learn to enjoy and love the monotony, is when you truly become successful.